Hello, it's Rosa here. Welcome to Messy Christmas. I'm going to show you how to make this lovely Christmas wreath. It's really simple to do. All you need is a paper plate, some scissors, some glue, or you might want to use sellotape, some wool and some buttons. So, first of all, I'm going to take my plate. Now you might not be able to see, but there's a nice ridge in the middle of the paper plate. If you haven't got a paper plate, you could draw around a plate onto some old cereal carton, cut round that, and then a smaller plate for the middle bit and cut round that. If you need some help, you need an adult to help you with this bit, do get them too. I'm just going to fold my plate in half and just snip in, and then I'm going to open it up again and cut to, you might not be able to see, but I can see there's a little ridge here. I'm going to cut to that ridge and just cut all the way round my plate. And here's one I did earlier. I've neatened off the edges, and that's what that'll look like when you cut the circle. I've got a nice disc. Next, I'm going to take my wool, and I'm going to just you can glue it down if you want to at the start, so let's just do that. Let's hold a bit in position, get our prick stick, and just blob of glue, and just pop our bit of wool there just to hold it in place. Pop the lid back on, and then all we need to do is wind this around. Now, this is going to take a little bit of time, a little bit like when you do a pom-pom, you have to wind round and round, but not as much. You don't have to do it all the way so it's big and thick. All you want to do is cover up all the card with the green. Now, if you haven't got any wool, don't worry, you might want to use tinsel. That would look nice, wouldn't it? Some sparkly tinsel, or perhaps you've got some ribbon, or maybe you want to cut out some wrapping paper and wrap strips of wrapping paper around. Or perhaps you just want to get some paints and colour this in green. It tends to be green because we have a Christmas wreath in evergreen, because it signifies Jesus, who is evergreen and everlasting. And of course it's his birthday. We're celebrating this Christmas, isn't it? And also, oh, I've had a bit of a tangle up there. Also, we have a circle because that represents how constant God's love is for us. And I think this is a really nice activity to do when you're feeling a little bit like you want to do something peaceful, because it takes quite a time to get this all wound around. And I found it quite a nice time to think about all the people that I am missing and that I'd like to send some love to, and maybe some of God's love to as well. So I was thinking about all of you at home who might be doing some crafting with your mums and dads, and hoping you're having a lovely time, and wishing you all a Merry Christmas. And I'm thinking about my brothers and my mum and all my nieces and nephews and my godchildren and all my friends who I haven't seen as much of as I'd like to. And of course my gorgeous husband, who I see all the time but still love very much. And I send lots of love and God's love to them as I'm wrapping this around. It's almost like a lovely prayer, isn't it? So you can just quietly do that all the way around. You might have to bunch it up a bit so you're covering up all the bits of the plate. And then when you've finally finished, this is what it looks like. So it took me about half an hour, 40 minutes of just wrapping this all the way around, thinking lovely thoughts, and there we go. And then the next thing we want to do is decorate it. So I've got some lovely buttons, and I've picked out lots of different sizes. So I've got some really big ones and then some teeny tiny ones, and just spread out on your wreath where you think you might want to put them. And then you just get your glue stick, and then just on the back with the flat side of your button, just pop some of your glue on there and then press it firmly onto your wreath, and there you go, it holds in place. Let's put a smaller one on next to it. That'll look nice. And then just spread your buttons all around across your wreath. Now, if you've used tinsel, you might need to use big shiny buttons. If you don't have any buttons, you might want to get someone to help you cut out some discs of ribbon. You might want to just use some paper. If you've done painting, you could dop your fingers into paint and have lovely baubles with fingers. There's lots of different ways we can make this wreath, but I've just chosen wool and buttons today. So these fix on really, really nicely. And as you can see, they stay on pretty well, and ta-da! That's how it looks when you've done it all the way around. And then if you like, you can get some shiny red ribbon and just get a big length, that's a big length, and then just swish it through, and then you can tie a lovely bow at the top, and that will be a lovely way to hang this up somewhere in your house. So I'd love to see how you make your wreath. Will you use wool and buttons? Will you use some tinsel? Will you use some ribbon? Will you colour it in? Will you use your finger paints? Pop a little picture on of what you've done and have a lovely time making it. Merry Christmas!